And good evening. We're broadcasting, I think, live from sunny, well, not so sunny Cornwall. Down here, the WWW stands for Wild, Wet, and Windy, and that's what it's like here today. If you catch me looking between a couple of screens, it's only by virtue of the fact, there we are, that's better, that I'm trying to monitor the Hangout as well as run the Hangout. But we're going to be talking tonight about how we see social media in 2015, just exactly what we think is going on with social media, and the things that we think you should be doing in order to make your business grow on social in 2015. I'm going to be running a slideshow, so this is the last you'll see of me for a minute or two. And in the background somewhere, I have the lovely Ian Moncrief McMillan down below you. So if you look down below this screen, you should see down there somewhere a comment box, and the comment box works really simply. It means that you can ask questions. It means that that you can talk to Ian. Ian will relay things to me, and it's just one of the things that we use on Facebook. And bear in mind, of course, this is actually a Google Hangout taking place right inside of Facebook. So it's just one of the tools that we use for our clients and customers, and it's a way for them to be able to get their message out on video or live on air, just as we are now. And to be able to do it in the place where everybody's hanging out, which is on Facebook, of course. So without further ado, we're going to try and share the screen, and that always gets tricky-ish over here. Thank you. So we're sharing screen one, and off we go. So there we are. Welcome to Kickstart Your Social Networking, and how you can stand out from the crowd and grow your business in 2015 on social media. We've been doing this for some considerable length of time. Our clients are with us on all sorts of platforms. A lot of what we do now is on Facebook. It's our favorite place to be. I'm getting a comment that says the camera doesn't appear to be in focus. Well, that's because I'm in deepest Cornwall, unfortunately, and deepest Cornwall, we're on 0.3 megabits per second, I think, in terms of broadband speed. I'm hoping now that what you'll see is in focus, apart from the fact that the sheep aren't the most focused sheep in the world. How do you stand out from the crowd? We're going to look at the past. It's always good to look at the past to see where you're going. Yeah, if you want to learn from if you want to know where you're going in the future, it's good to understand the past. And in that respect, when we moved to Cornwall last year, in fact, year before last, 18 months, 19 months ago, my mentor, my coach mentor, said to me, Mike, he said, you need to be thinking in terms of a 20-year plan. And to think 20 years ahead, it's necessary to look 20 years behind and see where we've actually come from. So just very briefly, in 1994, I don't know where you were in 1994, but the World Wide Web was celebrating its 5th birthday. Jerry and David's Guide to the Internet, later known as Yahoo, launched in 1994, just 20 years ago, 21 years perhaps, if you want to be pedantic, but 20 years ago, Yahoo was launched, and it was the first search engine. It was the first way that anybody could really get to grips with what was going on the internet, other than somebody sending them an email or a letter. 1,500 web servers on the information superhighway. Whoops. 1,500 web servers on the information superhighway. That means that the average skyscraper building now in New York has this many web servers, just to give you some idea of how far we've come and the difference over the course of the last 20 years. In 2004, skip forward 10 years, and in 2004, Google had come along in 1999, and they actually launched onto the American stock market. They did their first offer and raised $1.67 billion. MySpace was actually the #1 social network in the world in 2004. Facebook was just being invented. Mark Zuckerberg was a 20-year-old student and sitting down wondering how to attract girls. And he launched Facebook. And at the time, we'd skipped forward 10 years, don't forget, and there were 50 million websites. So by now we had some traction. We'd already had the dot-com boom, we'd had the dot-com bust, and by this time, 2004, lots more people coming online, and there were 50 million websites out there. But it was still pretty much a broadcast sphere. It was still very much people telling other people what to do online. Blogging had just about been invented a couple of years before. Skip forward again 10 years. Last year, 2014, the World Wide Web celebrated its 25th birthday. Lots of hoo-ha about it last year. Tim Berners-Lee was quoted as saying, "Well, I didn't think it would come to this," but anyway, yeah, this was last year, 2014. Google was valued at $400 billion at the end of last year. That's 240 times its 2004 value. Absolutely unprecedented increase in value of a company. And the way things are looking now, Google are #2 to Apple in the world in terms of overall value. And despite the fact that some critics out there might say otherwise, it's likely to be, within the next 5 years, the first $1 trillion company, and could well overtake Apple. There are now 1 billion plus websites, and just bear in mind, as I said 10 years ago, 50 million, there are now 1 billion plus. In 2014, every day we put 3.5 million blogs onto the internet, and every day we tweet over 500 million times between us. Facebook now has 1.35 billion accounts. It is officially now as large as China in terms of the population. There are actually 860 million what they call daily active users, DAUs, and 50 million Facebook business pages. And this is the bit, of course, that's going to interest most of the people that are watching this hangout this evening, or taking part in this hangout. And 50 million pages, half of which are small business pages. So the kind of business owner that we deal with as clients, 25 million of them around the world. Not an insignificant number, but at the same time, not a huge number. What it does mean is that there's lots of room still left on Facebook for you and for your colleagues and customers and suppliers to be able to do business on Facebook. The facts are that social has become an integral part of our daily life. In 10 years, we've gone from MySpace and communicating about bands primarily, our interest in music. It was a young person's thing, to a position now where 93% of consumers rely on social networks to guide their buying decisions. These facts, if you like to call them facts, statistics and lies, or whatever it was, lies, damn lies and statistics, say that 72% of consumers research their options online before going on a shopping trip. That means they're already starting to make up their mind before they even come to see you. And it doesn't matter whether you have a high street store, you're selling sweets, selling shirts and socks, or whether you're selling widgets. Your customer now is likely to research their options online before they even start to speak to you. They know who you are before they've come to you. And 84% of those buyers actually use their mobile device to make comparisons while out shopping. This is having a significant effect on the way that the high street works. Now, any major electrical store, any major store that sells brands of any kind, is in a position where people are walking in, checking out their products, and then checking to see whether they can get the same product cheaper online, or whether in fact there might be something, a better product they can be buying. But they're making those comparisons directly in real time. My background is in retail. I had stores up until 2003. I couldn't possibly begin to imagine how I would cope with that kind of activity going on in my shop all day long. Yeah, I belonged to an age when customers would come into a store and wander around. They would window shop, they would browse. We would help them to reach their buying decisions there and then in the shop. Now they've already made up their mind before they get there. The future. What does the future hold? There's the question. So this is a question that we're going to try and address some of this evening. We're going to look at one or two of the things that we believe that will be important in 2015, and we're going to look at the bigger picture, if you like, as well. I promised you a strategy, and you will have a link to be able to download what we're looking at as a template for your social media. And we're also going to look at some of the most important aspects I think that you should be concentrating on in 2015. So, if 1994 was Web 1, a broadcast medium, nothing less, and in those days it was difficult to make a website. Large companies and geeks made websites, and that was pretty much it. By 2004, we were looking at two-way conversations. Blogging had started. Web 2, the rise of networking, the ability to be able to go beyond the bulletin board and actually have real live conversations with people. In 2014, we're looking at Web 3. This is the network society, the semantic web, some call. This is the time when everything really is interactive, and what's going on one side of the world that you don't even know anything about will indirectly affect you and your activity. So, all of this is all very well, but the question is, of course, what's in it for me? What's in it for the people that are watching this tonight? For our clients, for the members of our online forum. What's in it for me? What's in it for us? How can I kickstart my social networking? And how can I stand out from the crowd in 2015? The 5 Ps. Prior planning prevents poor, misspelled performance. A social media strategy. 5 Ps, always been important in marketing, always been important in terms of how your company functions and marketing in its broader sense. So actually finding people who want a product and then supplying them with that product at the right price, in the right place, and with the right promotion, with the right activity actually going on. Well, a classic sales funnel of old would have looked a little bit like this. It would have been suspects, prospects, so these were people that you didn't know becoming people that you did know, and hopefully eventually customers. But the old school way of doing things included everything from cold calls to sales demos, trade shows, broadcast media, mail shots, brochures. This was the old way that we got that message out to people and converted them from suspects to customers. Very simple. You bang the phone. You sent brochures, letters out to people. You hung around in Earl's Court and Olympia and various other trade shows. You relied on things like radio or TV, and you relied a lot on visiting your clients, visiting your customers. We tend to think now in terms of a new kind of sales funnel, and it's a networked sales funnel. And in a networked sales funnel, there are people out there that we don't yet know, and those people obviously are strangers. But the deal for us now is that we are trying to get those strangers to become our followers. And if people become our followers, they will become our friends. And once they're our friends, then we have them for a considerable period of time because they know us, they like us, they trust us. All of those classic things that we talk about and the cliches that we're constantly on about, they will become our friends, and friends buy from friends. It's as simple as that. People buy from people. It's an old adage, but it's one that's that stood very well. And we've entered a realm of social selling. And social selling for us includes lots and lots of online activity. It includes that sort of multi-channel effect where decisions are made not just by the old methods, and those old methods, I'm not saying that they don't apply at all. They do still apply. But what's actually come along since are lots of other ways that we can be communicating with our prospective customers, those people we don't yet know, are able to find us online, and our existing customer database. So the obvious ones, of course, are Facebook, Twitter, blogging. Still very, very important that that you're actually creating content and getting your own content out onto the internet. YouTube video, one way or another, whether it's YouTube, Vimeo, or Facebook video. Google Plus. Lots of people have said Google Plus is dead, isn't it? Yeah, didn't that come along 3 years ago and it's disappeared? Google Plus still has a place as far as we're concerned in the modern marketing mix. Very, very much so if you're local marketing. So if you're a local bricks and mortar business, Google Plus is essential to your business because it has a direct impact upon you being found in Google search. Instagram, young people's networking all over again, but Instagram is, as far as I'm concerned, certainly perhaps one of the most significant things to have happened over the course of the last 12 months. The rise of Instagram in terms of companies being able to use it, brands being able to use Instagram to get their message out. LinkedIn, of course, still has an enormous place. Just as a recap here, we've been marketing this webinar for the last week or 10 days, and we've been doing it via email. I've communicated this message via text. I've communicated it on WhatsApp. I've communicated it face to face. I've been to I've not had so many breakfast networking things in my life as I had last week. 3 different breakfasts I was at. We haven't sent letters, but we've sent email. We've been on Facebook. We've talked about it in our Facebook group. We've talked about it on our Facebook page. We've used Facebook advertising. We've had it on Twitter. We haven't used YouTube, although we could have used YouTube very, very effectively. To be quite frank, it's been a question of time. LinkedIn has been extraordinary. I've been playing with LinkedIn again over the course of the last couple of weeks, and had some very, very immediate effects. I went to see 2 clients last week, a direct result of my tinkering with my LinkedIn profile and just going about a different activity on LinkedIn. So where we're at now is the fact that all of those channels require the 4 C's, what I call the 4 C's. So the 4 C's, excuse me a second. The 4 C's, the first one is curating. There's a wealth of knowledge out there, an absolute wealth of it. It's everywhere. Yeah, as soon as you go online, you're bombarded. You're bombarded straight away on Facebook. You're bombarded on Twitter. Yeah, any social media that you go on, yeah, immediately you're coming across content of one kind or another. And a responsible marketer will start looking to see what kind of content they're finding that they can share with other people. And curating is one of the first things that that we encourage our clients to do, to actually go and find relevant content that is suitable to share with other people. Creating your own content. Creating your own content, and we'll see this again in a few minutes, has never been more important. The ability to actually define your message separate from other people's and to stand out from the crowd. And one of the easiest ways you can be doing this of course, in the past we would have talked about blogging, and the average business person would have been putting their hands up in horror and saying, but I can't write, I don't know what to talk about, I don't know how to do it. But creating content now is really easy. Creating content is as easy as making a Facebook post. Creating content is as easy as recording a short video. The word of the year last year was selfie, and we think that the word of the year, if it's a double-barrel word for 2014, might be video selfie. That short, sharp Vine message, Instagram message that just says, hey, I'm here and I'm having a great time. It's creating content, and a business person can use that same method to create content for their own business. Some of the best videos I saw in 2014 were created using an app called Vine. Vine is an app that runs on a mobile phone. It's available on iOS and Android. It gives you the ability to make short 6-second videos, and that 6-second video used imaginatively is twice the attention span of the average goldfish. But certainly it's a really effective, short, sharp message. The third C is for connecting, and the connecting side of it, is perhaps the most important part, because without connecting with clients or prospective clients and customers, without making connections with prospective suppliers or partners, you're really not going to get very far at all. No man is an island, and certainly you can set up shop in the middle of a field surrounded by cows, but unless you're selling milking equipment for cows, you're not going to get very far. And the fourth C, we think, stands for culture, and culture is the way that that people are talking to each other, and the way that we've talked has changed considerably over the course of the last, even the last 2 or 3 years. We now talk about Google Me. We now talk about Facebook Me, Instagram Me, Tweet Me. We join groups, we like pages, we connect, we engage, and our culture has developed considerably, and all the more so in the last couple of years. The must-haves for 2015. So this was the bit I said that we were going to reveal the important things as far as we're concerned for 2015. So Instagram. In 2014, Instagram changed from one of those, well, maybe we should think about it, it's there, but we don't know about much about the way it works and what it might do, to a must-have. All the more so if you're a retail brand, or if you're in the food business, if you have a product of some kind or other to sell, Instagram is essential. It launched in October 2010, just 4 and a bit years ago, and it now reports over 200 million monthly active users. Every day, 60 million photos are posted, with an average of 1.6 billion likes every single day. 86% of top brands have an Instagram account, and that's up from 71% just the previous year. And I think that that's going to increase. What do you need to do with Instagram? You need to put some time into it. Whether you use it now or not, we think that over the course of 2015, Instagram is going to become a more important medium. It's currently demographically the under 30s predominantly, so if you're dealing with the under 30s, you need to be on Instagram. There is no argument. It's growing outside of that demographic in the same way that 10 years ago, Facebook was a college thing. It was for the kids. Facebook now, the biggest users on Facebook are in their 30s and 40s. And Instagram, I think, personally, and lots of other people that are far cleverer than me say the same thing, will get more important in 2015. You can do tagging. You can do hashtagging. You can put location into it as well. So if you have a physical location, it's a great way of attracting people on a local basis. Hashtags have been around for the last 5 years or so with Twitter. People playing with them on Facebook, but they're, again, we believe they're not relevant particularly now on Facebook. But on Instagram, hashtags are essential. A post with a hashtag will on average achieve 12.6% more engagement. They're an important discovery method, and they allow brands to gain exposure to niche groups and relevant areas of interest. They're searchable, so if you're using a hashtag on Instagram, people will find you from your hashtag. So Instagram, number one on the list as far as we're concerned, in no particular order, but certainly it's got to be in your arsenal for 2015. The next thing that we think is still head and shoulders probably above the rest is Facebook. And Facebook in terms of not just the way that you communicate directly with each other, so the sort of posting pictures of your weekend's activities, using it from a business perspective in terms of posting what's going on in your business, your offer, and so on. But one of the things that Facebook did 2 years ago that's still been under the radar, and we think it's actually going to cross over into mainstream Facebook this year, was graph search. Graph search for the first time gave you the ability to search Facebook in a different fashion. It gave you the ability to put search strings into Facebook along the lines of show me restaurants in Cardiff that my friend Carolyn Williams has liked, and Facebook would give you a result that was based entirely upon the restaurants that Carolyn Williams had actually liked in Cardiff. Now, I suggest you go and do it. I've not looked actually, but it'd be an interesting thing to see. But it gave you that social proof, and that was an integral part of the way that the graph search came along. It also gave Facebook the ability to delve deep into the things that you liked and disliked, and to be able to serve them up to advertisers in a way that you were able to specifically target advertising. But I think that something that's going to happen a lot in 2015 is the ability to use Facebook as a news source. So this is, if you look at your Facebook, your typical Facebook newsfeed on the right side, you'll now find topics that are trending on Facebook. And those topics that are trending in just the same way as Twitter trending will tell you what people are talking about in real time. Now, we already know from tests that we've done over the course of the last 3 months or so that when we start using the terms that are in those trending topics, we get better engagement with posts. So a really obvious one over the course of the last week has been the dreadful stuff that's happened in Paris, and the Je suis Charlie hashtag. And that Je suis Charlie hashtag has been trending on Facebook, and the Charlie Hebdo thing has been trending on Facebook just as much as it's been trending on Twitter. So that's something that we see as being particularly significant in 2015, is the idea that you can use Facebook as a news source, and then you can create your content around those current conversations. We think that because of the placement of that, the trending topics on the Facebook newsfeed, that right column ads are actually going to become more relevant in 2015, particularly now because they've been enlarged in size, they're more visible, and they are immediately now below the trending topics section. So, a real quick for instance, let's say for argument's sake that Justin Bieber was trending on Facebook. If you were able to create post and ad content based around Justin Bieber, aimed at right side ads. Here is an immediate way that you can attract the attention of people that are looking at the trending topics and pull up Facebook comments and post activity into your page. The other thing, and this is maybe more for UK business people than, or more relevant for UK business people than it is worldwide, is that Facebook have just in the last few weeks announced their intention to hold their first ever Facebook business workshop in London. I'm going to be there. It's in a fortnight's time on the 26th. If you're in business and you have a business page or an admin of a business page, you should have seen ads for that Facebook business workshop. It's held in 2 parts, and from memory, and I'm going to the one in the afternoon on January the 26th. I can't remember exactly where it is in London. If you need details, then please, by all means, at the end of this presentation, we're going to whack up some contact details, and you'll be able to take our contact details from there and drop us a line. Otherwise, of course, don't forget the comment stream. You know, I can see various things going on, and I can see that that Ian's answering 1 or 2 questions as well. So Facebook for Business, Facebook Business Workshops, as far as I'm concerned, and of course, the other big thing, why didn't you think of this before? Business Manager. Anybody with a Facebook business page over the course of the last couple of weeks will have almost certainly been given the opportunity to take up a new way of managing multiple business pages. And it's called Business Manager. It rearranges the way that you see your analytics. It rearranges the way that you manage your ads. It rearranges the way that you manage your pages, and you can do it all from a central place. You can allocate other people to be involved in the ad activity and the page activity, and it's just just another indication for me of how serious Facebook are taking the business side, and how much more they will do with it over the course of over the next 12 months. Targeted ads. We've been banging on about targeted ads for very nearly 2 years. It was in March 2013 that Ian came to me and he said, Mike, you want to see this thing that I've been doing? And I made a page and it's called I Love Cocker Spaniels. And I said, what the hell are you doing? And he said, well, I just wanted to test something out, he said, with advertising, and I've been running ads targeted at people that might like Cocker Spaniel dogs, and I've got 3,500 likes. And I said, I can't believe that. That's outrageous. I said, how long have you been doing this? And he said, oh, about 3 days. And I said, what? 3 days, 3,500 likes? He said, yeah. Now, let me tell you 2 things. One is, we don't go after likes. We now go after leads. We go after actually converting people to business rather than trying to get people to like us. It doesn't matter how many people like you, it's far more important how many of them will actually get their wallet out or their credit card and pay you for your goods or services. And it's not quite as simple as Ian found it 2 years ago, but certainly it's extraordinarily effective. The ability to be able to define the exact audience that you want to advertise your product or service to has meant that that Facebook advertising has gone from a backwater, really of no or very minor importance, to a projected $8 billion turnover this year. And Facebook ads, as far as we're concerned, are the core part of our business. We don't just advertise. We actually lead people on a journey, and part of that journey is collecting more and more data, We use retargeting now as well as targeting, so that we're actually able to serve up relevant ads to people depending upon the decisions they make. So you know those annoying things that follow you around Facebook when you've been to look at, I went to look at some shirts in John Lewis a couple of months ago, and next thing you know, the very shirt that I looked at and didn't buy on the John Lewis website was being served up in ads directed personally at me. This is the kind of thing that we're doing now. The more sophisticated this becomes, the more effective your advertising and the greater your return on investment. So targeted adverts, targeted by age, sex, location, they're obvious things, but also targeted by whether people have liked or engage in certain activities, their relationship status, their whether they have children, don't have children. We've just had a client who, she's a wedding planner, and we're putting ads in front of people that have just changed their relationship status to engaged. It's one of the first things that a woman on Facebook will do when she gets engaged, is change her relationship status. And of course, that period between I'm engaged and I'm married is a prime time to be able to advertise wedding services of one kind or another at them. I've just seen a comment here from Andrew Wilcox, who says Facebook targeted ads have been great for attracting new buyers and sellers to a local auction in Hampshire. Auctions in a day. Thank you, Andrew, for that. Funny enough, another comment here from Nikki Creel, who says, hello, totally agree with Instagram being the place to be in 2015. Now, I'll tell you now, and I know that Nikki's listening, I rate Nikki as being, one of the best social media trainers out there. She knows the full A to Z of Twitter, and if she's saying Instagram is the place to be in 2015, believe you me, it's the place to be in 2015. So targeted ads, cross-channel. So cross-channel is effectively making sure that you're making the best use of every channel, every platform, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, actually being on top of the whole thing. And this, of course, presents all kinds of problems for the average small business person, the average independent business owner, because the average independent business owner just throws their hands up in the air and says, well, how the hell can I do this? Because, Mike, you've told me I should be doing Instagram, you told me I should be doing Facebook, and you told me I should be advertising and doing targeted ads. And of course, everybody knows that we all ought to be on Twitter, and we should be blogging, and we should be doing all of these kind of things. So cross-channel marketing or cross-channel media is effectively knowing where your customers are and speaking to your customers in the voice and at the time that they want to be spoken to. So you say, okay, well, I need 3 different computers for this, and we do this very, very simply with Hootsuite. Hootsuite enables you to run all kinds of channels simultaneously. We can put Facebook on Hootsuite, we can put Twitter on Hootsuite, we put LinkedIn on Hootsuite, put Google Plus on Hootsuite, and we can run them all simultaneously, just literally by switching from tab to tab. It means that you can engage and be saying the right things at the right time to exactly the right people. And last year, whether it was the Super Bowl or American Idol, the Oscars, the ability to do all of that and integrate it as well with what's going on TV was just mind-blowing. We have a thing, Ian and I, we do a lot of advertising, a lot of engagement based around Saturday and Sunday night TV viewing. And the reason for that is really simple. People are sitting there watching the television with the iPad, with their mobile phone. And the effect of that is that there's lots of conversations going on about those particular TV programs, but it's also an ideal time to be able to drop advertising in front of them, particularly on Facebook, because they're engaged on their phone or on their tablet of one kind or another. We call it the Strictly Downton effect. It's going to be increasingly important for businesses in 2015, that ability to be able to drop in on conversations. Your connections, who you're connected to and how you are speaking to and engaging, let's put it that way. So not just speaking to, but listening to those people. Your connections will become increasingly important. Facebook have made no secret of the fact that if you have a business page, the number of people that they show your stuff to has decreased over the course of the last 18 months, 2 years, from roughly 20% to 6%. So if you have 1,000 people that have liked your page, a couple of years ago you could bank on every time you put up a post, it didn't really matter what kind of post, as long as it wasn't particularly cruddy one way or another. But you could bank on putting up a post and getting a couple of hundred people to see that post. And then you had the opportunity, of course, for people to like it, people to comment, people to share. And if people were liking and commenting and sharing that post, then Facebook would show it to more people. The issue, fast forward to 2015, is that now only 6% of what you show organically onto Facebook or share organically onto Facebook and similar is being shown to your audience. So the way to ensure that more people get to see your stuff is to be very choosy, very picky about the people you're connected to. So identifying the right influencers, identifying the bloggers, the people that are already out there talking about the things that are in your area of business, and then reaching out to them in the right way, whether it's via Twitter or Facebook, or even in a good old-fashioned email to those influencers to talk to them about your product, your service. More importantly, perhaps talk to them about their product, their service, and talk to them about how they feel about that area of industry that you're in. Connections, desperately important. Be talking to the right people. Video. Video's gone nuts in 2014, and it's going to go absolutely manic in 2015. Last year, Facebook's new autoplay feature that meant that as you were browsing your news feed, the video would start to play silently, in the background, but it would start to play, has accounted for an explosion in the amount of video that's been uploaded to Facebook. So much so that in the latter half of last year, more video uploaded to Facebook than uploaded to YouTube. And video, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube, and then making use of video, so advertising on Facebook using the call to action facility that Facebook build in to video that comes through pages, making use of that is going to be increasingly important. Again, to the extent that it's here in my top 10, and I've had meetings this morning with local videographers, and we are going to be creating an increasing amount of video, both for ourselves and for clients in 2015. You're going to now be able to add it to email. You can up the game and drive click-throughs from your emails with video. You're going to be able to put it on not just YouTube and Facebook, but you can put snippets perhaps on Instagram. I mentioned Vine earlier, and of course, Vine is that short, sharp, 6-second bang message across video. And if you're not using video, I suggest you go and invest in a half-decent smartphone, because that's all you need. Most Android phones, certainly my iPhone, will be able to take perfectly adequate video, and that you video everything. I'm running a political campaign And one of the things that we're doing with the political campaign is video. So please, go and experiment with it, go and play with it. But but certainly whatever you do, use video. Podcasting, and you might think, well, that's an odd thing. Podcasting, hasn't that been around a while? And does anybody ever listen to that stuff? Entrepreneur on Fire. You can Google it, but Entrepreneur on Fire is a business podcasting website, and they are turning over $300,000. Sorry, dollars. $300,000. Get the mouth back into gear. $300,000 a month with a podcasting site. One of the lovely things with Entrepreneurs on Fire is they're completely open about what they do, their activity, how much income they're generating, what their expenses are, what their profits are. But podcasting, believe you me, just think about all those people that are on the train, those people that are in a car, those people that just want to, stick something in their ears and not listen to music. They actually want to be educated. And podcasting, an easy thing to do. We all have the power of speech. If we can't take video, most of us, I would have thought, can talk about what we do. And if we can talk about what we do and we can provide that in a recorded facility, it's easy to do, then we should be doing that. You can experiment with it. You can talk about your expertise. You should be educating, entertaining. In fact, this morning I came up with a Lord Reith. Lord Reith was three things: inform, educate, and entertain. And there's no reason why you can't be doing exactly the same thing with your business. Just talking about the stuff that you do. And it's an alternative, of course. It's another alternative to video. And one of the things that that I'm really keen on is actually using that multi-channel effect. Using different messages or slightly tailored messages for different channels, because those different channels are appealing to different parts of your market. So podcasting, please don't ignore it. I am personally going to be podcasting. I've set myself a little task this year to try and do a weekly podcast based around the news, and we're going to use that podcast. And when I say the news, I'm talking about what's going on online with social media, and we're going to use that podcast as a regular weekly newsletter. You should be holding events. This is an event. Hold them. You can get people to come to an event. We've got lots of people here dipping in and out of the comment stream. I know that there are other people. With any of these things, it's the classic. 5 people are commenting, it means 50 people are watching, and there's no reason why you can't run your own events. They don't have to be online events. They can be real life events, but hold events, because events are something that you can promote. Events are something that you can leverage. And you should also be leveraging other people's events. So if there's a major cultural or entertainment event, then use it. It might be the Olympics, it might be the Ice Bucket Challenge, but use those events and leverage off them for your own benefit. So you should be listening. This is a given, really, isn't it? Customer service, the customer is king, the customer is always right. We should be listening to our customers, and then we should be acting accordingly depending on what our customers are telling us. Go back 20 years. 20 years ago, we could do what the hell we wanted. Fill a shop with stuff that we wanted, and then expect people to come in and buy it, and they didn't really have a great deal of choice. Fast forward 20 years, people are making decisions before they go shopping. We should be listening to our clients and customers. We can do that, of course, on Facebook. Just offer the service. Be open to the fact that occasionally you're going to get people moaning about your business. But if you leave that avenue open on Facebook and Twitter for people to be able to contact you, you'll be amazed at the kind of stuff they'll start telling you. And certainly, if you're giving crap service, they'll tell you, and maybe that'll encourage you to pull your socks up and give good service. And finally, in my must-haves for 2015, you should be analyzing. There's no excuse. It's really easy to do now. Twitter has inbuilt analytics. Facebook has inbuilt analytics. If you have a Facebook page or a Twitter account, You can analyze everything that's going on. You can see who's retweeted, who's shared, how many people have liked, what time of day they've done it. If you look into Facebook analytics, you can see whereabouts in the country they are, what sex they are, what age they are. You can see where you stand compared to other brands. You can start monitoring your competition and seeing how you stack up against them. But analyze, 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 because the more you analyze, the greater your opportunity to get the right stuff out to your customers and clients, and the greater the opportunity you have to make money from those same people. So please, analyzing one way or another. That's the simple way of doing it. We use other tools. We use a lot more in the way of sophisticated tools now that, that really overcomplicate to some degree, but they certainly bring us back the kind of information that we need in order to be able to more effectively get our message out, and not just our message, but of course our client and their messages as well. So how can we help? The very obvious thing, we've told you a load of stuff, and maybe now we'll just tell you a little bit about what we do. So we have a small team. There's Ian and myself. We have a couple of people that do social media management. But what we offer to our clients is one-to-one coaching, and that one-to-one coaching live, face-to-face, or online. We offer training, and that training, again, online and offline training. We're running offline training here in Plymouth, or just outside of Plymouth. We will later this year be running offline training or real life training, sit down in a workshop type environment. We'll be doing that in London as well. As of next week, we are offering online training. We've recorded video, and we're also running that in with webinars, but more practical screen share type webinars where we actually build things and do things rather than just run you through a PowerPoint presentation. So online and offline training that covers everything from local business marketing to specialist subjects like Facebook ads, for instance, or like LinkedIn strategy. And there'll be details of those posted after this presentation. We do social media management. So yeah, if you are sitting there thinking, my God, like all this stuff that Mike says we should be doing, how on earth do I find the time to do it? Just give it to us. We've got people that will speak with your voice. They will talk about the things that you want to talk about, and they will engage with people in a very targeted fashion based upon your needs and wants. We provide social media strategy. We sit down, we audit a company's existing position, and we provide strategy for them going forward. And we run Facebook ad campaigns. We are very effective at Facebook ad campaigns. I'm really happy to shout my mouth off about how good we are at Facebook ad campaigns. We target individuals. We target small groups. We target people based upon age, sex, location, interests, marital status, whether they've been on holiday, not been on holiday, have they just come back from a trip. We can target people based upon so many varieties, so many variables rather, that we do get ads in front of the right people. Then it's down to our clients coming up with irresistible offers, but we help them to put their irresistible offer in front of the very people that they want to be able to deal with. We run a thing now called the Digital Business Cafe, and the Digital Business Cafe we started just the beginning of the year, and the Digital Business Cafe is an online members forum. It's a place that you can come and speak to us. In fact, here it is. You get great coffee with an @ symbol on it. It's a membership group. We provide updates, tips, and information. It's a great way for you to keep up with what's going on. I'm keeping up with it on a daily basis. Ian's keeping up with it on a daily basis. So as things change and happen, and believe you me, they do. I was in a Facebook workshop about 3-4 weeks ago, back in December, and showing people, quite nicely, oh, and this is what you do here, and this is what you do here, and all of a sudden the here bit had disappeared. Facebook had moved something. They do it constantly. They don't tell people when they're going to do it, but because we're there all the time, we know what's going on, and we then pass on those updates, we pass on tips, and we pass on information. It's an educational environment. We offer support from both Ian and myself, but there's also peer support, and that peer support comes from the collective experience of the people in the group. The people that are there already, some of them have got tremendous experience of business, let alone what they're doing on social media. Twice a month we'll have a hangout. This is a bit different from the way that we'll be planning hangouts going forward, but certainly twice a month we do a hangout. The next one will happen in a fortnight's time. It won't happen on the 26th because I'm going to be in London, but in fact, no, we may try and do it from there. But certainly twice a month we run a hangout, and by being a member of the Digital Business Cafe, you will get discounts on future products and courses. So there is that incentive as well. And how much does it cost you? Not a lot. £10 per month, inclusive of a course that we've put together. We call it Upgrade Your Fan Page. It's a Facebook starter course. It's intended to make sure that you have all the ducks lined up in all the right places with your Facebook page. Because so many people that come to us, one of the first things we have to do is just tear their page apart, turn it around and make sure it's correctly optimized, make sure it can be found properly on Facebook, make sure it can be found on Google, because of course your Facebook page is, or parts of it certainly, are visible on Google, and it's important that that's properly optimized. And all of that information, it's 17 videos, I can't remember how many hours long, patiently recorded by the lovely Mr. Macmillan. So the Upgrade Your Fan Page Facebook Starter course comes as part of that membership. And you can join it now for just £1. Just £1. All you need to do is follow the link. The link down here, you can find it again if you look at the Tin Digital Facebook page. You'll find a link to the Digital Business Cafe. Join it for £1. Try it for a week. See how you get on. And if you like it, then stay. And if you don't like it, there's no obligation. You can go. You won't have access to our fantastic news, tips, ideas, information, hangouts, and everything else. We will let you keep your Upgrade Your Fan Page Facebook Starter course. So for just £1, you can go along, buy a course that we otherwise sell online at £47, and you can be a member of an amazing community. So that's the Digital Business Cafe, and the link is on the screen. I'll make sure that the link is on the screen at the end as well. We talked about prizes. We have prizes to give away, and I need to find out what we've done with these prizes. We ran into some technical issues ourselves. So we had some issues over the course of the last week, marrying up our contest delivery method with Facebook, and we don't know whether it was Facebook settings changed or whether our contest delivery method changed, but certainly those problems have now been overcome. What it means is we're going to extend our competition by a couple of days. So on the link below this video, which if I just grab another screen here, it says underneath here, enter contest. If you haven't yet entered the contest via that button, I urge you to do so now. And the reason for this is really simple. If you enter the contest via that button, you will have multiple opportunities to win one of our amazing prizes. And those prizes are everything from one-to-one coaching to lifetime membership of the Digital Business Cafe, Facebook services. We're going to build one lucky contestant. We'll have their Facebook page completely and utterly overhauled. We'll bang app pages in there to do data capture and give another platform for video and so on and so on. All of those things will go into that particular prize. We'll run a competition for somebody. And we're going to do all of those things. Well, what we're going to do with that is draw those prizes live on Wednesday night. But so you don't go empty-handed, we're going to give away some prizes this evening as well. So, so you're going to have to bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves just for a second or two while I go and look and see who's won. Because by the magic that is Facebook messaging, my colleague Ian Macmillan is able to tell me that we have some winners. So I'm going to run back through this. Right, so here we go. Here we go. So, first winner, and this is for a lifetime membership of the Digital Business Cafe, is the very lovely Louise Penn-Collins. So, Louise Penn-Collins, I'm assuming you're still on the line. I'm hoping you are. You now have a lifetime membership, and bearing in mind £10 a month is £120 a year, and I'm assuming that you're going to live for some time. That's a fantastic thing to have. And so there's a lifetime membership to the Digital Business Cafe for Louise Penn-Collins. Louise, our contact details are up there now on the screen. Alternatively, you can find me on Facebook, and one way or another, just get in touch. We'll find you because, of course, at some point you've gone through our system, and we'll be in touch over the next 24 hours to organise that. Okay, another winner. Right, another winner. Jim Roberts. Jim Roberts. We have, again, lifetime membership of the Digital Business Cafe. So, Jim Roberts, there's a lifetime membership for you. Koshi Samuel, another lifetime membership of the Digital Business Cafe. So, Louise, Jim, Koshi, and Emily Banks. Emily Banks, lifetime membership of the Digital Business Cafe. So that's 4 lifetime memberships we've just given away. What we're going to do this evening is give one contest prize, and that contest prize, I'm hoping that I'm hoping we've got. Oh, can I give this to her, Ian? The great thing is Ian can't talk to me at the moment. We put him on mute. But okay, we're going to give a contest to Nikki Creel, just to prove to her how effective Facebook competitions and offers can be. So Nikki Creel, yeah, you're the winner of a Facebook contest. We still have one more contest to give away. We still have some one-to-one coaching, and we have, of course, that fabulous entire Facebook page makeover with all the data collection and everything else. And we're going to do that on Wednesday. So I urge you again, if you haven't yet entered the contest via the Enter Contest button on the bottom of the this Hangout page that you're looking at now, then I urge you to do so, and to do it at the earliest opportunity. So that's it. That's been us this evening, or it's been me, certainly. It's been Ian in the background there doing all the stuff that Ian does, and all the stuff that Ian does best. The Digital Business Cafe, I'm going to put the details back up on the screen. In the meantime, take a look at the Facebook page, facebook.com Tin Digital, at Tin Digital on Twitter. We are tindigital.com on the web, and go and have a look at this great offer. You can join the Digital Business Cafe right now for just £1, and the link is there, and the link is going to stay there for another 5 seconds or so until such time as I'm able to work out quite how I take this off the screen and finish the Hangout. But thank you everybody for taking part. Don't forget, we're going to draw this again on Wednesday evening. We'll draw it at the same time, same place, in this Hangout space. This Hangout will be live where it is now as a recording, rather. So it'll be in this space for the next 48 hours. So for the next 48 hours, you'll be able to access this video and you'll be able to see it, run through it, hear all the stuff we've been talking about. But at 7 o'clock on Wednesday evening, we're going to hold a live draw for the remaining prizes, give away those prizes, and then this video will come down and it will be available just in the Digital Business Cafe, along with all those other goodies and all the good stuff that we've got planned to be in there. So the Digital Business Cafe, the address is on the bottom of the screen, www.22s.com/connect/DB Cafe. And as I said, you can also find it if you go to the main Tin Digital Facebook page and click on Digital Business Cafe. It's up at the top underneath the cover picture, and then just join it through there. It'll cost you £1. We're going to give you a £47 course, and there's absolutely no obligation. You can leave whenever you like. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you all for listening in, and thank you, Ian, for being my supporting hand in the background, answering all these questions, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Thank you. Bye-bye.